Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Welcome all to today's reading from Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Lila, chapter number 21, verse number 105. We will continue today from Mukam Karoti Vachalam, Pangum Langhete Girim, Yat Kripatamam Vande Shri Gurum Din Tarinam, Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanyeshwaram Hariyam Tatsat. Verse 105. Bhushanera Bhushan Ang Tahen Lalit Tribhang Tahar Upar Brudhanu Nartan Tirache Netrant Bana Ban Tar Dridha Sandhan Vindhe Radha Gopi Ganamana. Ornaments caress that body, but the transcendental body of Krishna is so beautiful that it beautifies the ornaments he wears. Therefore, Krishna's body is said to be the ornament of ornaments. Enhancing the wonderful beauty of Krishna is his curved style of standing. Above all these beautiful features, Krishna's eyes dance and move obliquely, acting like arrows to pierce the mind of Srimati Radharani and the gopis. When the arrow succeeds in hitting its target, their minds become agitated. Verse 106. Brahmandopari paravyomatahan ye swarup gana tan sabar bale har mana pativrata shiromani yanre kahe vedvani akarshye se lakshmi gana. The beauty of Krishna's body is so attractive that it attracts not only the demigods and other living entities within this material world, but the personalities of the spiritual sky as well, including the Narayans, who are expansions of Krishna's personality. The minds of the Narayans are thus attracted by the beauties of Krishna's body. In addition, the goddess of fortune, Lakshmis, who are the wives of the Narayans and are the women described in the Vedas as most chaste, are also attracted by the wonderful beauty of Krishna. So all the Narayans and all the Lakshmis, they are also attracted, including the demigods and everybody else, by the beauty of Krishna. Verse 107. Chadi gopi manorathe manamathera manamathe namadhare madan mohan Jini Panchashra Darpa Swayam Navakandarpa Rasa Kare Lena Gopi Gana. Favoring the gopis, Krishna rides on the chariots of their minds, and thus to receive loving service from them, he attracts their minds like Cupid. Therefore, he is also called Madan Mohan, the attractor of Cupid. Cupid has 5 arrows representing form, taste, smell, sound, and touch. Krishna is the owner of these 5 arrows, and with his Cupid-like beauty, he conquers the minds of the gopis. Though they are very proud of their super excellent beauty, becoming a new Cupid, Krishna attracts their minds and engages in the rasa dance. Verse 108. Nijasama Sakha Sange Go Ganga Charana Range Vrindavane Swachanda Vihar Yandra Venu Dhvani Shuni Sthavara Jangam Prani Pulak Kampa Ashru Vahe Dhar. When Lord Krishna wanders in the forest of Vrindavan with his friends, on an equal level there are innumerable cows grazing. This is another of Lord's blissful enjoyments. When he plays on his flute, all living entities, including trees, plants, animals, and human beings, tremble and are saturated with jubilation. Tears flow constantly from their eyes. Verse 109. Muktahar Bakapanti Indra Dhanu Pincha Tati Pitambara Vijuri Sanchara Krishna Nava Jaladhara Jagat Shasya Upar Varishye Lilamrit Dhar. Krishna wears a pearl necklace that appears like a chain of wild herons around his neck. The peacock feather in his hair appears like a rainbow, and his yellow garments appear like lightning in the sky. Krishna appears like a newly risen cloud, and the gopis appear like newly grown grains in the field. Constant rains of nectarian pastimes fall upon these newly grown grains, and it seems that the gopis are receiving beams of life from Krishna, exactly as grains receive life from the rains. Verse 110. Madhurya Bhagavata Sar Vraje Kaila Prachar Taha Shuka Vyasera Nandana Sthane Sthane Bhagavate Varinyache Janaite Taha Shuni Mate Bhaktagana. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, is full in all six opulences, including his attractive beauty, which engages him in conjugal love with the gopis. Such sweetness is the quintessence of his qualities. Shukadev Goswami, the son of Vyasadeva, has described these pastimes of Krishna throughout Srimad Bhagavatam. Hearing the descriptions, the devotees become mad with the love of God. Verse 111, Kahite Krishnera Rase Shloka Pade Prema Veshe Preme Sanatana Hath Dhari Gopi Bhagya Krishna Guna Ye Karila Varanana Bhava Veshe Mathura Nagari. Just as the women of Mathura ecstatically describe the fortune of the gopis of Vrindavan and the transcendental qualities of Krishna, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu described the different mellows of Krishna and became overwhelmed with their ecstatic love. Grasping the hand of Sanatana Goswami, he recited the following verse. Verse 112, Gopiyasya tapaha kim acharan yad amushya rupam lavanya saram asmoradhyam ananya siddham drigabhi pibanti anuswabhinavam durapam ekantadham yashasah shriya aishwarasya. What austerities must the gopis have performed with their eyes! They always drink the nectar of the form of the Lord Krishna, which is the essence of loveliness and is not to be equated or surpassed. That loveliness is the only abode of beauty, fame, and opulence. It is self-perfect, ever fresh and unique. Purport: this verse from Srimad Bhagavatam 10.44.14 was spoken by the women of Mathura when they saw Krishna in the wrestling arena. And for us, I think, when we see the murtis of Radha Madhav Ashtsakhi, or in Vrindavan when we see Radha Shamsundar and Lalita and Vishakha on both sides, we can imagine how fortunate the gopis are, because they're constantly absorbed in the beauty of Sri Krishna and Srimati Radharani. Verse 113, Tarunyamrita Paravar Tarang Lavanyasar Tate E Avart Bhavodgama Vamsi Dhvani Chakravat Narira Manmana Trina Pat Taha Dubaya Na Haya Udgama. The bodily beauty of Sri Krishna is like a wave in the ocean of eternal youth. In that great ocean is the whirlpool of the awakening of ecstatic love. The vibration of Krishna's flute is like a whirlwind, and the flickering minds of the gopis are like straws and dry leaves. After they fall down in the whirlwind, they never rise again but remain eternally at the lotus feet of Krishna. Verse 114, Sakhi hai kaun tapa kaila gopi gana Krishna roop Sumadhuri PB netra bhari Shalagya kare janma tanu mana. Shalagya means to glorify. Oh my dear friend, what severe austerities have the gopis performed to bring his transcendental beauty and the sweetness through their eyes in complete fulfillment. Thus they glorify their births, bodies, and minds. Verse 115, Ye madhurira urdhva an nahi yar saman Paravyome Swarupera Gane Yenho Sab Avatari Paravyoma Adhikari E Madhurya Nahi Narayane. The sweetness of Krishna's beauty enjoyed by the gopis is unparalleled. Nothing is equal to or greater than such ecstatic sweetness. Even the predominating deities of the Vaikuntha planets, the Narayans, do not possess such sweetness. Indeed, some of the incarnations of Krishna up to Narayan possess such transcendental beauty. Verse 116, Tate Sakshi Sai Rama Narayanera Priyatama Pativrata Ganera Upasaya Tinho Ye Madhure Lobhe Chadi Sab Kam Bhoge Vratakari Karila Tapasya. The vivid evidence in this regard is that the dearest consort of Narayan, the goddess of fortune who is worshipped by all chaste women, gave up everything in her desire to enjoy Krishna. Being captivated by his unparalleled sweetness, thus she took a great vow and underwent severe austerities. Verse 117, Saita Madhurya Sar Anya Siddhi Nahi Tar Tinho Madhuryadi Gun Khani Ar Sab Prakashe Tanre Datta Gunabhashe Yahan Yat Prakashe Karya Jani. The quintessence of Krishna's sweet bodily luster is so perfect that there is no perfection above it. He is the immutable mine of all transcendental qualities. In his other manifestations and personal expansions, there is only a partial exhibition of such qualities. We understand all his personal expansions in this way. Verse 118, Gopi Bhava Darpana Navanava Kshane Kshana Tar Age Krishnera Madhurya Donhe Kare Huda Hudi Bade Mukh Nahi Mudi Nav Nav Donhar Prachurya. Both the gopis and Krishna are complete. The gopis' ecstatic love is like a mirror that becomes newer and newer at every moment and reflects Krishna's bodily luster and sweetness. Thus, competition increases since neither give up. Their pastimes become newer and newer, and both sides constantly increase. Verse 119, Karma Tapa Yoga Jnana Vidhi Bhakti Japa Dhyan Iha Haite Madhurya Durlabha Keval Ye Rag Marge Bhaje Krishna Anurage Tare Krishna Madhurya Sulabha. The transcendental mellows generated from the dealings between the gopis and Krishna cannot be tasted by means of fruitive activity, yogic austerity, speculative knowledge, regulative devotional service, mantra yoga, or meditation. This sweetness can be tasted only through the spontaneous love of liberated persons who chant the holy names with great ecstatic love. Verse 120, Sai Rupa Vraja Shreya Aishwarya Madhurya Maya Diva Guna Gana Ratnalaya Aner Vaibhav Shasatta Krishna Datta Bhagavatta Krishna Sarva Amshi Sarva Shraya. Such ecstatic transactions between Krishna and the gopis are possible only in Vrindavan, which is full of the opulences of transcendental love. The form of Krishna is the original source of all transcendental qualities. It is like a mine of gems. The opulences belonging to all the personal expansions of Krishna are to be understood to be bestowed by Krishna. Therefore, Krishna is the original source and the shelter of everyone. Verse 121, Shri Lajja Daya Kirti Dhairya Vaisharadi Mati Ei Saba Krishne Pratishtha Pratishthit Sushil Mridu Vadanya Krishna Samanahi Anya Krishna Kare Jagatera Hita. Beauty, humility, mercy, merit, patience, and expert intelligence are all manifested in Krishna. But besides this, Krishna has other qualities like good behavior, mildness, and magnanimity. He also performs welfare activities for the whole world. All these qualities are not visible in expansions like Narayan. Purport, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur mentions that the qualities of beauty, humility, mercy, merit, patience, and expert intelligence are brilliant qualities, and when they are exhibited in the person of Narayan, one should know that they are bestowed upon Narayan by Krishna. Good behavior, mildness, and magnanimity are only found in Krishna. Only Krishna performs welfare activities for the whole world. Verse 122, Krishna dekhi nana jana kaila nimeshe nindana vraje vidhi ninde gopi gana sai sab shlok padi Mahaprabhu artha kari sukhe madhurya kare aswadana. After seeing Krishna, various people criticized the blinking of their eyes in Vrindavan, especially all the gopis criticized Lord Brahma's because of this defect in the eyes. When Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu recited some verses from Srimad Bhagavatam and explained them vividly, thus enjoying the taste of transcendental sweetness with great happiness. Verse 123, Yasyanam makara kundala charu karana Bhrajat kapol subhagam savilas hasam nityo swam na tatripur rishibhi pibayanto naryo narash cha muditah kupita nimesh cha. All men and women were accustomed to enjoying the beauty of the shining face of Lord Krishna, as well as his shark-shaped earrings swinging on his ears, his beautiful features, his cheeks, and his playful smiles all combined to form a constant festival for the eyes, and the blinking of the eyes became obstacles that impeded one from seeing that beauty. For this reason, men and women became very angry at the Creator, Lord Brahma. Purport: this verse is Srimad Bhagavatam 9.24.65. Verse 1 to 4. Atati yad bhavan ahani kananam trutir yugayate tvam apashyatam kutila kuntalam shri mukham chate jada udikshitam pakshma krid drisham. O Krishna, when you go to the forest during the day and we do not see your sweet face, which is surrounded by beautiful curly hair, half a second becomes as long as an entire age for us, and we consider the Creator who has put eyelids on the eyes we use for seeing you to be simply a fool. Purport: this verse is spoken by the gopis in Srimad Bhagavatam 10.31.15, and we know it's from the Gopi Geet, which we sing during the Damodar month. Verse 125. Kama Gayatri Mantra Rupa Haya Krishnera Swarupa Sardha Chabisa Akshara Tar Haya Se Akshara Chandra Haya Krishne Kari Udaya Trichagat Kaila Kamamaya. Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is identical with the Vedic hymn known as the Kama Gayatri, which is composed of 24.5 syllables. Those syllables are compared to moons that arise in Krishna. Thus, all three worlds are filled with desire. Verse 126. Sakhi he Krishna Mukha Dvija Raj Raj Krishna Vapu Simhasane Vasi Rajya Shasane Kare Sange Chandrera Samaj. The face of Krishna is the king of all moons, and the body of Krishna is the throne. Thus the king governs a society of moons. Krishna's face is considered the king of moons, and his body is considered the throne. All the other Chandras or the moons are considered to be subordinate moons. His left cheek is a moon and his right cheek is a moon. His forehead is considered half a moon. The spot of sandalwood pulp on his forehead is considered a moon. And his fingernails and toenails are also different moons. So there are so many moons arising in Krishna. So Krishna is going to be absolute in the beauty. Verse 127. Dui Ganda Shuchikana Jini Mani Sudarpana Sei Dui Purna Chandra Jani Lalate Ashtami Indu Tahate Chandana Bindu Sei Ek Purna Chandra Mani. Krishna has two cheeks that shine like glowing gems. Both are considered full moons. His forehead is considered a half a moon, and the spot of sandalwood there is considered a full moon. So we can just imagine the Ashtami Indu was the 8th day moon, which is half moon. Verse 128. Karanakha Chandera Hata Vamshi Upar Kare Nata Tar Geet Muralira Tan Padanakha Chandragana Tale Kare Nartana Nupurera Dhvani Yar Gan. Nupurera is of the ankle bells. His fingernails are many full moons and they dance on the flute in his hands. Just imagine here in this verse the beauty of the fingernails is described. The song is the melody of that flute. His toenails are also many full moons and they dance on the ground. The song is the jingling of his ankle bells. Verse 129. Nache makara kundala netra lila kamala vilasi raja satata nachaya bhrudhanu netra bana dhanur guna dui kan nari manalakshya vindhe taya. Krishna's face is the enjoyer king. That full moon face makes his shark-shaped earrings and the lotus eyes dance. His eyebrows are like bows and his eyes are like arrows. His ears are fixed on the string of that bow, and when his eyes spread to his ears, he pierces the hearts of the gopis. Verse 130. E chandera bada nat pasari chandera hatta vinimule vilaya nijamrita kahun smita jyotsnamrite kanhare adhara amrite sabalok kare apaita. The dancing feature of his face surpasses all other full moons and expands the marketplace of full moons. Although priceless, the nectar of Krishna's face is distributed to everyone. Some purchase the moon rays of his sweet smiles, and others purchase the nectar of his lips. Thus he pleases everyone. Verse 131. Vipulaya taruna madana mad ghurnana mantri yar e dui nayana lavanya keli sadana jana netra rasayana sukhamaya govinda vadana. Krishna has two reddish, widely spread eyes. These are ministers of the king, and they subdue the pride of Cupid, who also has beautiful eyes. That face of Govinda, which is full of happiness, is the home of the pastimes of beauty, and it is very pleasing to everyone's eyes. Verse 132. Yandra punya punja phale e mukha darshana mile dui aankhi ki karibe pane dviguna bade trishna lobha pite nare manah kshobha dukhe kare vidhira nindane. If by devotional service one gets the results of pious activities and sees Krishna's face, then what can he relish with only two eyes? His greed and thirst increase twofold by seeing the nectarian face of Krishna. Due to his inability to sufficiently drink that nectar, he becomes very unhappy and criticizes the Creator for not having given more than two eyes. Verse 133. Na dile ka laksha koti sabe dile aankhi duti tate dila nimisha achadana vidhi jad tapodhana rasa shunya tar mana nahi jane yogya srijana. When the onlooker of Krishna's face becomes dissatisfied in this way, he thinks, why didn't the Creator give me thousands and millions of eyes? Why has he given me only two? Even these two eyes are disturbed by blinking, which keeps me from continuously seeing Krishna's face. Thus one accuses the Creator of being dry and tasteless due to engaging in severe austerities. The Creator is only a dry manufacturer. He does not know how to create and set things in their proper places. Verse 134. Ye dekhibe Krishnana tar kare dvinayana vidhi hena hana hena avichar mor yadi bol dhare koti aankhi tar kare tabe jani yogya srishti tar. The Creator says, let those who will see Krishna's beautiful face have two eyes. Just see the lack of consideration exhibited by this person posing as a creator. If the Creator took my advice, he would give millions of eyes to the person who intends to see Sri Krishna's face. If the Creator will accept this advice, then I would say that he is competent in his work. Verse 135. Krishanga Madhurya Sindhu Sumudhur Mukha Indu Ati Madhu Smita Sukirane Etine Lagila Mana Lobhe Kare Aswadana Shloka Pade Swahasta Chalane. The transcendental form of Lord Sri Krishna is compared to an ocean. A particularly extraordinary vision is the moon above that ocean, Sri Krishna's face, and an even more extraordinary vision is his smile, which is sweeter than sweet, and his shining beams is like shining beams of moonlight. While speaking of these things with Sanatana Goswami, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu began to remember one thing after another. Moving his hands in ecstasy, he recited a verse. Verse 136. Madhuram Madhuram Vapur Asya Vibhora Madhuram Madhuram Vandanam Vadanam Madhuram Madhu Gandhi Mridu Smitam Etad Aho Madhuram 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 Madhuram. O my Lord, the transcendental body of Krishna is very sweet, and his face is even sweeter than his body. But his soft smile, which has the fragrance of honey, is sweeter still. So if somebody asks us that how can we describe God, and I think we can use this verse from chapter 21, verse number 136, that this is how Mahaprabhu described Krishna, that his transcendental body is very sweet and his face is even sweeter, but the smile is the sweetest. Verse 137, Sanatana Krishna Madhurya Amritera Sindhu Mora Manas Sannipati Savapite Karemati Durudaiva Vaidya Nadeya Ek Bindu. My dear Sanatan, the sweetness of Krishna's personality is just like an ocean of ambrosia. Although my mind is now afflicted by convulsive diseases, and I wish to drink that entire ocean, the repressive physician does not allow me to drink even one drop. Purport. When there is a combination of kapha, pitta and vayu, the three bodily elements, there occurs sannipati or a convulsive disease. Sri Chaitanya said, this disease of mine is caused by the personal features of Lord Krishna. The three elements are the beauty of Krishna's body, the beauty of his face, the beauty of his smile. Stricken by these three beauties, my mind goes into convulsions. It wishes to drink the ocean of Krishna's beauty. But because I am undergoing convulsions, my physician, who is Sri Krishna himself, does not even allow me to take a drop of the water from that ocean. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was ecstatic in this way because he was presenting himself in the mood of the gopis. The gopis wanted to drink the ocean of sweetness arising from the bodily features of Krishna, but Krishna did not allow them to come near. Consequently, their desire to meet Krishna increased, and being unable to drink the ambrosia of Krishna's bodily features, they became very unhappy. Verse 138, Krishnanga Lavanyapura Madhura Haite Samudhura Tate Yamukha Sudhakara Madhur Haite Sumudhara Masumadhura Taha Haite Sumadhura Tar Ye Smita Jyotsana Bhara. Krishna's body is a city of attractive features and is sweeter than sweet. His body, which is like a moon, is sweeter still, and the supremely sweet, gentle smile on that moon-like face is like the rays of moonshine. Purport, the smile on Krishna's face, which is just like the smiling of moon, generates greater and greater happiness for the gopis. Verse 139, Madhur haite sumadhur, taha haite sumadhur, taha haite ati sumadhur, apnar ek kane vyape sab tribhuvane, dasha dik vyape yar pura. The beauty of Krishna's smile is the sweetest feature of all. His smile is like a full moon that spreads its rays throughout the three worlds, Golok, Vrindavan, the spiritual sky of the Vaikunthas, and the Devi Dham, the material world. Thus, Krishna's shining beauty spreads in all 10 directions. So, the spiritual sky of the Vaikunthas is Golok, Vrindavan, Golok Dham. Verse 140, Smita Kiranas Sukara Pure Paise Adhar Madhure Sai Madhu Mataya Tribhuvane Vamshi Chidra Akashe Tar Guna Shabde Paise Dhvani Rupe Pana Pariname. His slight smiling and fragrant illumination are compared to camphor, which enters the sweetness of his lips. That sweetness is transformed and enters into space as vibrations from the holes of his flute. Verse 141, Se dhvani chodike dhaye and bhedi vaikuntha yaye bale paishe jagatera kane sabha matoyal kari balatkare ane dhari visheshatah yuvatir gane. The sound of Krishna's flute spreads in 4 directions. Even though Krishna vibrates his flute within the universe, its sound pierces the universal covering and goes into the spiritual sky. Thus, the vibrations enter the ears of all inhabitants. It especially enters Golok, Vrindavan Dham, and attracts the minds of the young damsels of Vrajabhumi, bringing them forcibly to where Krishna is present. Verse 142, Dhvani bada uddhata pati vratar bhange vrata pati kola haite tani ane Vaikuntera Lakshmi Gane ye kare akarshane tar aage kiba gopi gane. The vibration of Krishna's flute is very aggressive and it breaks down the vows of all chaste women. Indeed, its vibrations take them forcibly from the laps of their husbands. The vibrations of his flute attracts even the goddesses of fortune in the Vaikuntha planets, to say nothing of the poor damsels of Vrindavan. Verse 143, Nivi खसाए पति आगे गृह धर्म कराए त्यागे बले धरी आने कृष्ण स्थाने लोक धर्म लज्जा भय सब ज्ञान लुप्त हय आइचे नाचाए सब नारी गणे. The vibrations of his flute slackens the knots of their clothes even in front of their husbands. Thus the gopis are forced to abandon their household duties and come before Krishna. In this way, all social etiquette, shame, and fear are vanquished. The vibrations of his flute causes all women to dance. Verse 144, Kanera bhitar vasa kare apane tanha sada sfure अन्य शब्द न देया प्रवेशिते आन कथा न शुने कान आन बलिते बोलाय आन ए कृष्णेरा वंशीरा charite. The vibration of his flute is just like a bird that creates a nest within the ears of the gopis and always remains prominent there, not allowing any other sound to enter their ears. Indeed, the gopis cannot hear anything else, nor are they able to concentrate on anything else, not even to give a suitable reply. Such are the effects of the vibrations of Lord Krishna's flute. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. The vibration of Krishna's flute is always prominent in the ears of gopis. Naturally, they cannot hear anything else. Constant remembrance of the holy sounds of Krishna's flute keeps them enlightened and enlivened, and they do not allow any other sound to enter their ears. Since their attention is fixed on Krishna's flute, they cannot divert their minds to any other object. In other words, a devotee who has heard the sound of Krishna's flute forgets to talk or hear of any other subject. This vibration of Krishna's flute is represented by the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. A serious devotee of the Lord who chants and hears his transcendental vibration becomes so accustomed to it that he cannot divert his attention to any subject matter or related to Krishna's blissful characteristics and paraphernalia. Verse 145, Punah kahe bahaya gyane आन कहते कहलून आने कृष्ण कृपा तुम्हार ऊपरे मोर चित्त ब्रह्म करी निजैश्वर्य माधुरी मोर मुखे सुनाए तुम्हारे. Resuming his external consciousness, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told Sanatana Goswami, I have not spoken of what I intended. Lord Krishna is very merciful to you because of by bewildering my mind, he has revealed his personal opulences and sweetness. He has caused you to hear all these things from me for your understanding. Purpose, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu admitted that he was speaking like a madman, which he should not have done for the understanding of those who are externally situated. Statements about Krishna's bodies, his characteristics, and his flute would appear like a madman's statements to a mundane person. It was actually a fact that Krishna wanted to reveal himself to Sanatana Goswami due to his specific mercy upon him. Somehow or other, Krishna expanded himself and his flute to Sanatana Goswami through the mouth of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who appeared as though mad. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu admitted that he wanted to tell Sanatana Goswami something else, but somehow or other, in transcendental ecstasy, he spoke of the different subject matter. So we'll continue our reading from verse 146 next time. Thank you for joining. Hariam Tat Sat. Hare Krishna.